Okay, this video is going to be a bit of a back and forth. My name is Nolan Michaels. I've made a lot of Midjourney images. This has been my go-to image generator for the past 4 years. I built a channel off of it, and I've collected a bunch of my thoughts about how I would make Midjourney better. And this video was going to be all about that. But there is one big thing that has stopped me from publicly critiquing the company, and it's simple. What the hell do I know? I've never built an AI. I've never ran a multi-million-dollar company with millions of active users. It really does feel silly to me to tell Midjourney what they should be doing. I don't agree with all of their decisions, but again, what does it matter what I think? And I do feel bad for the Midjourney team because they get so many bad suggestions from people. I mean, objectively bad, but I think the main problem is that clearly most people don't understand how AI works. They think it's a normal software where you can just add features. But no, from my understanding, that's not how it works. I could be wrong about this, but if you want a different behavior or feature, you have to let the model train for days or weeks at a time. And you have no idea what will happen until it's done. Like, adding a new feature into an AI system is not that simple, which is why I think a lot of critiques are sort of misplaced. They sound simple to suggest, but the reality of implementation is just not that easy. Now, I do get the paying customer point of view. Myself and other people have given Midjourney a lot of money, and expectations do get built from those transactions. But there is a reason why this video is going to go back and forth a lot. I don't feel comfortable giving advice to another company for something that I can't do myself. Like, yeah, more consistent anatomy would be nice, a little more control would be nice. I'll get to the rest of my unsolicited advice in a minute, but I needed that disclaimer to start. That's why I told you this video was going to be a back and forth, because at the end of the day, I still think most AI companies deserve a lot more grace. And at the same time, I truly believe they've done themselves no favors. Like, I've spent a couple of months building my dream software, a color correction tool I call Color Pilot. This is a place where you can make your Midjourney images pop. It has all the basic features that you would expect, but it also lets me point at an image, I can declare it an anchor, and then I can tell my other pictures to look more like it. It feels like magic. I'm super proud of it. And to relate this to Midjourney, I understand the concept of having a vision and sticking to it. This app is what I wanted to build. I might hear good ideas from other people, but if they don't fit my vision, I'm not going to rush to implement them. Having said all that, I want to show you something. I recently added a new feature that lets me swap the colors in an image. Pretty cool, right? But do you see this here? This button lets me change my circular brush into a square brush. And if you've been following Midjourney for the past few years, you'll know this exact thing, a square brush, has been a community requested feature for a long time. We still don't have this in Midjourney. We only have a circular brush to make edits with. Now, before working on my app, I naively assumed this kind of thing must have been difficult to implement. Like, there must be a good reason why we never got a square brush in the editor. Turns out, nope. It took me less than 3 minutes to get a square brush in my app. Yes, I used an AI to code it, and maybe Midjourney doesn't want these other AI companies to see their code base or whatever. But there is definitely open source AI that you could adopt and silo, especially if you just wanted to add a small feature like a square brush to your interface. So maybe that's one of my suggestions to fix Midjourney. Start picking up the small wins. But while I'm in Color Pilot, I want to show you something else that's pretty cool. So I'm trying to change the background, right? But take a look at this behavior I added to the brush. It deforms to the area you selected, so you don't have to worry about erasing other things. Like, it's only erasing the background. Isn't that cool? And if I wanted to paint, I don't have to be too careful. It just paints around Batman. Isn't that awesome? Color Pilot is free to use, it all works in your browser, but if you do want to upgrade for some advanced workflows, you have a few days left to get your 50% off deal. Go check it out, try the color swap, and remember that this deal is only on for a couple more days. So to start the unsolicited advice, I'm not going to press too hard for some pro mode or whatever you want to call it. We know they're working on a new interface, and they've been working on it for a long time. I guess we just have to judge their efforts when they're done, but pretending they asked for my help, I have something small I would offer. I think I would try to build 2 separate interfaces, an easy and a pro mode. If you're worried about new users being overwhelmed, then start them on easy and make them do 10 easy prompts to unlock the pro mode, or something along those lines. Hide all the settings behind pro. Let your easy interface be the most straightforward way of getting a beautiful picture. And then my trick would be add more settings. Don't worry about people getting overwhelmed. You can't protect everyone. That is what I would say if you asked for my advice. If you'll humor me for a video game analogy, you need a Midjourney ranked mode. Make your quick play as casual as you want, a fun thing to hop on by yourself or with friends. No problem there. But if you get one of those people to actually like your game, they're having fun with the casual quick play mode, why would you want them to be disappointed by your lack of a competitive mode? I really think you can build an app from the top down or the bottom up, but the whole thing should be built. Your top doesn't have to be as wide as the bottom, but there has to be something at the top. Anecdotally, I'll just say, do you know how many people you've lost on the mountain because they kept trying to climb higher in your app, but you didn't have any steps built for them up there? Not everyone is going to want to dial through the most complex settings to get their pictures, but for the ones who do, why can't they? That part I don't understand. Like, why not let people dictate the depth they want to dive? Okay, you gotta add the square brush. I would prefer a ranked mode, a more professional setting. And you gotta let us create our own shortcuts. Like if there is a prompt I write often, I should be able to create my own shortcut that expands into the longer prompt. And you know why that's so important to have? Because it's already possible. You just have to do it through Discord. It is a little mind-blowing to me that such an important workflow feature has not been deemed important enough to have on the main website. And people have been asking about this for years, me included. I honestly don't even have the words to describe how much this confuses me. And what I mean is, if your bigger features take months and months to implement, surely you could donate a day or two for a key workflow upgrade. And I don't want to disparage anyone working at the company, but this is legit one of those times where I get a little worried. It feels as though some of the developers might not use Midjourney as much as we'd hope they do. Because if you use Midjourney a lot, one of the first things you're going to wonder is, how do I make this easier? How do I create shortcuts? Maybe this goes in the pro mode section. I just think it's super important, okay? Let me leave it at that. And maybe building off of shortcuts, there should be a way to save our prompts. Like not necessarily a shortcut, but related. In Suno, there's a way to view your save style prompts. Do you see how useful this would be? For a website like Midjourney that wants people to explore their creativity, why isn't exploring your creativity easier? I think this is just a clear path to a more comfortable user experience. I also think it would be cool if there was some sort of prompt rewrite feature. And like we have describe, so why can't this rewrite be somewhere in between a regular prompt and a describe prompt, which then lets you go in and edit it? Like, why is it okay for the AI to write a description after? Why can't it just help me before? I think that's also another easy W, but maybe you don't want to get AI involved in the creative workflow before a generation. That I do understand. Maybe it's not part of your vision. That's cool. Honestly, I'm happy with Midjourney. I love the software clearly. And those are some of the small suggestions that I would implement as soon as possible. But then I do have one bigger idea. I don't think this is very reasonable. I don't expect this at all. But I think it would be really cool if you created some sort of super agreement with print houses around the world. Essentially building an art shop into the site. And I swear, not even like a public shop if that feels gross. Maybe you don't want your users selling their art to other people that easily. That's fine. I'm talking about a way for someone to generate the most beautiful image they've ever seen and then immediately order a print of it. I think that would be amazing. And I would use this all the time. If you, Midjourney, brought these print shops all of your customers, I think you could lower the price of prints big time. Do I know that for sure? No, but historically, that is a business example that comes up a lot. Some sort of mutually beneficial agreement. And if there was an easy way to get a good price on art prints, I think you would get so many impulse buyers. Honestly, even just for stickers, do you know how cool it would be to order these as a sticker? If that was just an option on this page, I think that would be so fun. So do it, Midjourney. Take over the art print world. Or don't. Fine by me.